Hey, what is going on, guys? My name is Chall, YouTube channel, Donks the Born, but built for theme park news, and welcome to this very special video. Now, this weekend could be a lot of things to a lot of people. We've got the English football playoff finals, we've got the fallout from the Prime Minister resigning, and now it is time. The 500 subscriber Q&A. I know we're completely over the 500 mark now, but this is the Q&A video. You guys have been sending in your questions by YouTube comment, Twitter, Instagram, Discord, anything possible. And we now have all your questions. Any possible site was available to you. You've sent in your questions. I've got them all here. There's quite a lot of questions, not as much, but you know, obviously when it gets to the 1,000 sub Q&A. So basically how this Q&As will work is I will do a Q&A every 500 subscribers. Even when I'm in the high thousands, and even if God wish, thank you if I get it, if I get into the millions, I will reveal all your questions in a bumper video. So this is the first of many Q&A videos that I'll be doing every 500 subscribers past. So let's get this started then. So I've got all your questions written down right here on my phone. I know the case is destroyed. So I've got all your questions written down right here. So let's get things started with an Insta question, an Instagram question from the underscore rocker, the underscore rocker underscore from underscore the underscore 2000s. So big shout out to you. And your question is, what is my favourite attraction / ride? Now, I wasn't sure whether you meant coaster or other attractions, so I've gone through my ride counts and I've put them in order of favouritism. And my favourite coaster is Wicker Man at Alton Towers. It's a great GCI wooden coaster. It's a fantastic coaster. In terms of the attraction, it's Valhalla at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, a great water dart ride, a good flume ride, full of effects, full of darkness. Apparently some of the effects weren't working this season, so maybe I'll have to go back to Blackpool at some point. I would just try out Icon for the first time, and also try and get back on Valhalla, see if we can keep its pace up a bit with the effects. But I've heard some interesting things from Blackpool Pleasure Beach this season about Valhalla, so there you go. Thank you very much for your question. Moving on then to Tom Make 2019 on Instagram. He also has a YouTube channel. I believe it's Thomas Make Peace. I'm not entirely sure, but if you look on Instagram for Tom Make 2019, I'm sure he has a YouTube link to his channel somewhere. Please go and subscribe. He does some great Blackpool Pleasure Beach vlogs, and he has a question for me as well on Instagram. What should Pleasure Beach do next? Now, I had a long time to think about this, Tom, and I decided that I wanted to see the Wild Mouse and Trauma Towers sites being used up, maybe even Impossible ripped out as well for this, just for the extra support system, and the Bowlerdrome as well. I want to see a Mack Big Dipper coaster come to the park, and hopefully that does come to the park. I think it was last year I said on the old channel that Blackpool is rumoured to be having a brand new development in the next 4 or 5 years, so that's very exciting. If it's true, then it's exciting. So I'm just predicting a Mack Big Dipper around that Wild Mouse Trauma Towers area as a redevelopment area. But thank you very much for your question, Tom. Moving on then to a YouTube question. Now, actually, to be fair, 2 people asked this on the same line as each other. So on YouTube, Halish Railways asked this, and the same question was asked on Instagram by Kai Phillips, and that is, what's your bucket list roller coaster? Now, I couldn't choose between these two. It was either Steel Vengeance at Cedar Point or Taron at Phantasialand. Taron looks like an amazing Intamin Blitz launch coaster, a multi-launch coaster by Intamin. It looks absolutely fantastic down at Phantasialand in Germany. I really want to go out to Germany at some point and try that out. Steel Vengeance, some of you may have already guessed that Steel Vengeance will be one of my bucket list coasters. It is amazing. Literally, I couldn't tell whether to say Steel Vengeance or Taron, so I decided to say them both because they're really equal in quality from what people are saying. So I want to go out to Cedar Point and Phantasialand in the future to try both these coasters out. Moving on then to another Instagram question. from Jack Perry Bear 09 on Instagram. What is your UK number 1 and 2 in terms of coasters, I believe? So my number 1 is Wicker Man and my number 2 is Nemesis. Wicker Man, like I said, my top coaster before. GCI, fantastic coaster. Can't wait to get back on that this year. Hopefully next month in June is when I'm aiming to get out there. I've got one of these Seabrooks vouchers. You probably can't see it very well and it makes a very annoying crackling sound, these crisps. But I bought a special pack. It's got a massive 2-for-1 entry with every pack voucher. So I'll be inserting that, taking it with me and getting my entry. And yeah, I'm really excited to get back on Wicker Man and Nemesis, my number 1 and number 2. But thank you very much for your question. Moving on then to ig.xander.main on Instagram. Big shout out to you. Big shout out to everyone who's asked a question. And he says, what's your favourite Fright Nights maze? And do you want to see the return of the Lionsgate mazes? Now, first of all, I'm going to answer the first part of the question, your favourite Fright Nights maze. I haven't actually been to Fright Nights, unfortunately, at Thorpe Park. I've been to Thorpe Park a couple of times, but I haven't been to the actual Fright Nights event. So I wanted to get out there in the future to do the Fright Nights event, and I'll sort of answer that question when I do. But in terms of, do you want to see the Lionsgate maze returning? I really do. I really do. I loved the reviews that my buddy Valentine was getting, Cabin in the Woods. I loved the reviews it was getting. Obviously, it kind of downgraded some of the mazes over the coming years, but I do still think that they were decent mazes, and of course, I'd like to see them come back, maybe as a one-shot deal for one of those years. So, thank you very much for your question. Moving on to another question then, what is your most unique roller coaster that you've ever been on? And this is from Blocky Coasters on Instagram. Now, this is an interesting question, your most unique roller coaster. And I decided 13 just because it was a very interesting, dark, sort of strange, unique theme. So that's why I've chosen 13 as my most unique coaster. I'm sure there's more unique coasters out there in terms of elements, themes. I believe there was a coaster in Denmark, I believe, that has like a lady's private parts on top of the tunnel, so it looks like the wooden coaster's riding through it. I believe it was the old Ruskabahn tunnel. I'm not sure if that's been refurbished since then or not, but I just saw it. In terms of unique attractions, there's loads of unique attractions out there. There's this thing called SCAR, I believe, SCAR as capitals. I believe that's in Denmark as well. It's like a detachable free-fall experience, tower experience, which looks very interesting. But for now, 13 is my most unique coaster just because of the eerie track drop and the theme in general mixed together. So thank you very much for your question. Have you had a season pass to a theme park? Says hey_it's_Kieran_27 on Instagram. He actually has a channel called Theme Park Kieran. He always comments on the videos, so big shout out to you. Thank you for your question. I haven't unfortunately got a season pass to a theme park. I would like to get one at some point, either a Million Annual Pass, maybe even a Blackpool Pleasure Beach season pass when I can, when I've got the opportunity to do more trips on a daily basis. So I'd like to do that, but I haven't yet, but I am aiming to in the future. But thank you very much for your question. Moving on then to the islandlikeno.other on Instagram. Loads of Instagram questions. This is the last Instagram question, by the way, so don't worry. He said, what do you think could be the next ride coming to Thorpe Park? I want to say coaster. I so badly want to say coaster, but I think with all the work doing around Angry Birds 4D recently, the scaling, the measuring, apparently someone was there recently and they said that there's some development apparently coming to the Angry Birds 4D experience. So it's going to be interesting to see what happens there. I think it could be a brand new dark ride or a new 4D film replacing Angry Birds 4D experience, or a possible re-theme of Angry Birds Land. So that's my prediction for the next ride at Thorpe Park. Thank you very much for your question. Moving on then to our last two questions. Dougie O'Hanlon, I'm really sorry if I pronounced it wrong, on YouTube. He commented, what is your top 5 coasters you have ridden? Be warned, they're mostly Alton Towers. Wicker Man first, great GCI. Nemesis second, brilliant invert. Number 3 is the Swarm at Thorpe Park, brilliant wing coaster. I can't wait to try out more. Number 4 at the minute is Oblivion, the B&M Dive Coaster, and number 5 is Galactica, a B&M Flyer. Now, I've heard some good reviews from the Smiler recently this season, so maybe that'll climb back into the top 5, but I highly doubt it. So, for now, that is my top 5 coasters. Thank you very much for your comments, Dougie O'Hanlon. And finally, again, Dougie O'Hanlon with his final comment on YouTube, and the final comment and question, question of this video. How many credits have you got? I have 36 coaster credits and 96 other ride and attraction and coaster credits. So in terms of overall ride counts, I have 96, just coasters 36. And that includes defunct coasters and defunct other rides and attractions in those counts as well. So there we go. That's taken a lot out of me. Thank you so much to everyone who sent in a question. Don't forget, when we hit 1,000 subscribers, I'll be filming giving it a few weeks, 2 or 3 weeks like this one. Get your time to send in your questions on Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, Discord, any other link you can think of. Send me a comment, send me a question. I'll shout you out as well, like I've done today. And I will basically just be answering your questions on a bumper video for the 1,000 sub Q&A video. Of course, when we hit that, I hope we hit that by the end of the year so I can do a second Q&A. So thank you very much for watching this Q&A. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and click the notification bell so you never miss a video. For now, guys, my name is Coach Chall, YouTube channel, Coop, learn the coaster up and dudes, and I'll see you guys in the next video soon. Take care, have an awesome day, my friends.